Three Hot, Three Not. This is a series in which I look at the three hottest wrestlers coming from the last PLE Survivor Series War Games, and the three not hottest wrestlers, cold, if you will, also from War Games. And I know, you're like, that was forever ago, Chop. Why are you now just doing it? It was a week ago. 1 week ago. The world just moves so quick, it feels like forever ago. And we've had a Raw and a Smackdown since, so I'm actually making it 5 hot, 5 not for today's episode. Let's get started with who's probably the hottest. I'm thinking it's Bron Breaker. Bron Breaker, he starts War Games, right? And then he goes the distance and he pins CM Punk. He pins the champion at War Games, and it's great. Finally, they've been telling us forever now that he is a WrestleMania main eventer, and hey, you're treating him like such. Great job there. Then he goes on to Raw and he cuts an amazing promo. Now, some people might think, oh, that promo wasn't that good. He didn't really say anything, but it's not what he said. It's how he made you feel. He looked like a maniac. He looked like he was seriously going to take CM Punk and snap him in half. I know my boy, It's Hop, would love that, but no, for real, it seemed like he really wanted to murder CM Punk. Bron Breaker just cut an amazing promo, but it's how he presented himself. It did not feel like a sanitized WWE promo. It felt like something unhinged. When he left the ring, I honestly believe that he got himself so worked up that whatever he was saying, he was believing in that moment. You ever get so mad you just have to actually leave the room because you are just furious and you can't control yourself, and you know that you will start throwing tables and hands if you stay any longer? That's what it felt like. Bron Breaker, he literally just throws down the microphone and walks away, and the vision is like, what just happened here? Because Bron Breaker was so just in that moment unhinged. It was so refreshing. And now Bron Breaker versus CM Punk at the first Netflix of 2026. Dear God, please, Triple H, pull the trigger. I have no faith in Triple H, but I'm still going to ask Triple H that you would do that. Please, it's time. You don't need to wait to WrestleMania 48 for Bron Breaker to finally get in that main event. What the heck is NXT for? Anyways, I digress. Let's now go to Cold. I'm gonna put LA Knight. Yeah. In the cold list. I don't want to. I really don't want to. This sucks. Here we got a guy who's been feuding with the Vision forever now, and then he does not get into the War Games. So boom, right there. Then he proceeds to tap out to Gunther on SmackDown. I'm not sitting here and saying that Gunther is not a legit choice to be the guy to beat or to face John Cena as his last match. I'm not saying that at all. I am saying, though, that to me, LA Knight was the better pick. Sometimes you can have a good pick and a better pick. I think LA Knight was the better pick. Be that as it may, as a character, I'm looking at the LA Knight character, and I see a guy who is no longer really in any main event program. He was completely ignored in a multi-man program that he was actually a part of for months, and then he loses a huge opportunity to face John Cena in his last match, and not just that, he tapped out. Tapping out for someone like LA Knight, that's insane. LA Knight's character is not meant to tap out. I mean, Goldberg didn't tap out. He went to sleep. But LA Knight, he'll tap out. So, all right. So LA Knight, unfortunately is cold. I don't want him on the cold list, but I got to be objective here. So while we're at it, we might as well just go back to hot and put Gunther on the list. Gunther is hot. Like I said, did not want him to be the guy. I would have loved a John Cena Gunther program early in the year. WrestleMania even. That would have been really, really good. I see the value in a Gunther John Cena program. I just don't think this should have been it. Maybe they could have instead of having Brock Lesnar be the guy at WrestlePalooza, we could have had Gunther there. But that would have been cool, right? That would have been cool. But nope, they did it here. So all I can say is Gunther showed up. He plowed through everybody, and he's making people tap on the way. So as of right now, Gunther, well, he's red hot. All right, so let's go to Cold. Cold will go, I'm going to say this one's going to be very controversial because a lot of people won't think he's cold because he is getting TV time. And I'm thinking Carmelo Hayes. I'm putting Carmelo Hayes on here, and this one sucks again. Again, please don't misunderstand me. When I say cold, it's not because I don't like them. It's because of how they're being treated. Go look at my 2 last videos, literally crashing out because of the mistreatment of LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes. But that said, yeah, Carmelo Hayes, like, I could see a world in which we're leading to him getting a U.S. title reign. And when he does get that, I'll put him on the hot list. But right now, I'm looking at right this second, he's cold. He's tried to get that U.S. title, 3 times now? The first time he lost to Sami Zayn. Then he went for a rematch, but then he was like blindsided by The Miz in a feud that seems to have been dropped and forgotten completely. Another reason why he's cold. And then now he goes up against Ilya Dragunov and he loses. He was protected, so I'm not saying he's like ice cold. He's cold like a frozen meatball. You know, you throw a meatball in the microwave and you heat it up, and at first it's like really hot. The outside is hot, you can barely hold on to it, and then you bite into it and it's cold in the middle. That's kind of what he is. Like, he's kind of hot, but he's like kind of not. And like, he puts on banger matches, but a banger match will only take you so far. It really will. You gotta have stories, you gotta have characters, you gotta have airtime, mic time, and all Carmelo Hayes has been getting lately is just matches, and we need more from the guy who actually, you know, he can actually produce more. I've seen it. He actually is pretty decent on the mic and has good character. So the fact that they're not giving it to him, he's probably the least coldest of the people on the cold list, but he's cold. Number 3 is gonna be the women's tag team division. The women's tag team division is crazy stacked right now. You got the Kabuki Warriors, Kairi and Asuka. You got Rhea and Io. You got Alexa and Charlotte. Lash Legend and Nia Jax. Bayley and Lyra. And is that it? It feels like there might even be more than that in regards to the women's tag team division. So, like, yeah, it's like crazy. So crazy that the whole War Games was pretty much centered around it. With only one single star in the mix being AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. But, you know, it's Becky Lynch. She's the best in the world. And that's not just me saying that. That's Sports Illustrated. So she can fit in anywhere. I am, like, thoroughly impressed. I wish the men's tag teams division would get some of that, like, of the storylines or the airtime that the women are getting, but I am happy for the women. The women's tag team division off the hook right now. It is smoking hot. We'll do cold, and the cold one, though, is because the women's tag team division is so hot and has taken so many of the main event caliber people to form tag teams. Ironically, the main event scene of the women's divisions, both Stephanie Vakir and Jade Cargill, their division's kind of like very lackluster right now. I mean, who did Stephanie just go up against? Nikki Bella. When was the last time Nikki Bella won a match? Like, for real, I'm not a Nikki Bella hater. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. I have great respect for Nikki, but they haven't really written her that strong. And then she's the number 1 contender for Stephanie. And what's Jade doing? I think Jade is in a feud right now with B-Fab, the lowest person on the Smackdown card. No, excuse me, not the lowest. Jade Cargill just needed an assist, a distraction to beat the lowest person on the SmackDown card, Alba Fire, and she might be in a program with Chelsea Green. I'm not sure, or with Meacham. Who is Meacham? Meacham is pretty much the first person you beat on your way to the U.S. title on SmackDown. So yeah, Jade Cargill, while like it was amazing getting her to that championship, they've done no favors for her once she got it. And same with Stephanie Fakir. Like, when is Stephanie going to get some character? I know it's sacrilege to say anything bad about Stephanie Fakir, but like, for real, where's her character? Where's the storylines? I'm not seeing it. Great in ring. But like I said about Carmelo Hayes, that in-ring stuff can only take you so far in WWE. You need more stuff. Like, it's been sports entertainment since, when was WrestleMania 1? So, like, where's my sports entertainment when it comes to these characters? Stephanie Fakir, Jade Cargill, they're cold because all of the storylines are going to the tag team division. And I'm not saying that as a knock on the tag team division. Great for them. But I need to see some story here too. Because we are getting 0 matches sometimes on Raw and SmackDown for the women's. And that's telling me that the women divisions are pretty cold, with the exception of the tag team division. And it also tells me that Triple H sucks as a booker. Okay, so next hot is number 4 hot is Judgment Day. Judgment Day is like smoking hot. We have Liv Morgan returning and consolidating power, showing that she's on the same page with Roxanne Perez, who seems to be now officially in the group. She is going after Liv Morgan is going after Stephanie Fakir. Hopefully that will heat up the women's division. But now Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez can actually enter into the red hot women's tag team division and try to win their titles back. Plus, you got Dirty Dom having the last ever storyline program with John Cena. Just like really good stuff. JD McDonough and Finn Balor not doing incredibly well, but not doing incredibly bad either. They're part of Judgment Day, but Judgment Day seemed like a big deal again for the first time in a long time. It didn't seem like it was just Dirty Dom who was getting all the spotlight on Monday Night Raw. After the John Cena match, it was Judgment Day as a whole in the spotlight. So red hot there. Then we're going to do a tie. Number 4 and number 5 are literally going to be like for the cold list. They are literally basically the same reasons, but just on opposite teams. We have Bronson Reed and Jimmy Uso. They're both cold. So they're number 4, number 5 for the cold list. Bronson Reed has a pinfall victory over Roman Reigns and has literally done squat since then. I mean, he did get a cool like tsunami in the War Games, but for the most part, he's been nothing. I don't understand why they can only push Bron Breaker or they can only push Bronson Reed. Push them both. I don't understand why we can't do that, but it doesn't seem like they can. So Bronson Reed gets nothing. Same with Jimmy Uso. Why can't we push Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso? Jimmy Uso literally exists just to get yelled at, just to get beat up, just to this, just to that. And it's glaring because he keeps getting put into these main event spots because of who he's associated with, but then he's the one that always looks like the chump. Because we can't hurt Roman, we can't hurt Jay. Let Jimmy get beat up and bloodied by Gunther. Let Jimmy eat the pin. Let Jimmy this, let Jimmy that. It's like, unfortunately, Bronson Reed and Jimmy Uso being thrown into the War Games, and you're like, those are the two guys that are like pretty much just there because, you know, they needed a 5th member. So yeah, sucks, but both of them are cold. So before I get to my final hot, let's do part-timers. Part-timers I don't put on a list. I just say, are they hot or are they cold? John Cena, red hot. He puts over the Judgment Day. Dominic Mysterio, his last program ever, became a Grand Slam champion. Great stuff right there. Plus all roads lead to John Cena with the big old tournament for the last time is now. Next Saturday, we're going to see John Cena face Gunther for the last time ever, and it comes out in a radio interview that John Cena actually wanted 220 days, but Triple H, in his infinite wisdom, only wanted to give him 36, which is garbage, and I am like, I'm very bitter about that, and so like John Cena's too smart to know. Like, he knows that a comment like that would get out and would literally make Triple H look bad. So you even got John Cena kind of, sort of, like, nonchalantly throwing Triple H under the bus, which Triple H does deserve, and I hope that bus not only hits him, but backs up on him, stops, and, like, a bunch of people for a hot dog eating contest got on the bus, and then the bus left. But then the bus came back again because it forgot someone. Because 36 days for the GOAT, he wanted 220. Fine, don't give him 220. You could have given him 100. What about that? Anyways, John Cena threw him under the bus, and I love that he did that. Roman Reigns is hot as well. He, at the end of War Games, even though he lost, he did beat up Brock Lesnar for a while, but he says to Cody, after he said Zebros to CM Punk, because they're in Madagascar, like 2 or 3 together, the Zebras, that's who they voice. But he says to Cody, never again. This is the last time we're on a team together. So now we're starting the tease to the WrestleMania 42 main event. So the fact that Roman, and rumor has it, the fact that Roman is not so much into Hollywood, and he's like, all right, you know what? I'm all in on the wrestling thing again, means red freaking hot Brock Lesnar. He's hot. You know, he showed up. So that's pretty much the requirement for Brock to be hot. He showed up. So, yeah, I don't got much to say other than he showed up. Logan Paul, is he a part-timer now? I honestly don't know. I'll put him, he's probably more lukewarm. Yeah, he was hot when he joined the Vision. And it looked like for a second he was going to take the spotlight for Bron Breaker, but now he's kind of in the background, which he should be under the learning tree of Paul Heyman. I'll put him, like, he's lukewarm, but probably more hot than cold, but more lukewarm than anything if I had to pick. Anyone else? AJ Lee, she showed up, so won War Games, yay for her. So I guess she's kind of like Logan Paul in that, you know, probably more on the hot list. And now we go back to the final number 5, hot is Oba Femi. I usually don't put NXT guys on this list, but Oba Femi won last night to become the NXT champion, which now has allowed him to punch his ticket to face Cody Rhodes. So the main roster audience is about to get a big old dose of the ruler of the world, Oba Femi, and there's a part of me that likes that, but there's a part of me that hates it. I'm not gonna lie with you, because I love Oba Femi. I even got a signed belt. I have a signed Oba Femi belt, my only signed belt, and I love it. I want to hug it. I want to squeeze it. But like Oba Femi, I am so terrified that he's coming up to the main roster just to lose to Cody Rhodes, and I know what people will say. Oh, he didn't need the victory. Just being there was like the rub enough, and all these things. And it's like, oh my gosh. What? Is Oba Femi also a WrestleMania 48 main eventer? I know he's hot because he won and he's about to get this huge opportunity, but I have no faith in Triple H anymore, so I'm more scared now. I kind of wish he would have just lost. I kind of wish he would have lost last night, and then we just didn't see him again until he showed up at the Royal Rumble, and then Ricky Saints could take the loss. Ricky Saints could take the loss to Cody Rhodes. But it is an opportunity, and it's going to be a huge spotlight. I'm really hoping that Cody and him have a banger of a match, so like everybody's like, wow, look at this guy. Look at this guy. What a specimen. What a superstar just waiting to happen. And yeah, so Oba Femi is hot. I'd rather him not be, though, because Oh, God, please don't let him lose to Cody Rhodes. All right, boys. All right, girls. You have yourselves a great day. And I forgot one person. There's one person who is even hotter than all the people on the list, and that's you. That's you, boys and girls. You're hot. Red hot. See ya, bye.